Paul Dietz is a brilliant mechanical engineer. His son, an MBA, wrote up an outstanding business plan. He's got financing at the ready, and all he needs to do is pull the trigger. So, what could go wrong? He has a date set, August 1st. He's done all the required paperwork to start his business, and he's even found the perfect spot, an abandoned Chrysler assembly plant. And hell, he may even be able to use the equipment that they left behind. Paul and most of his engineers are going to work for nothing until the money starts to roll in, and then they will work for a piece of the company at the ground floor. Now all he needs to do is get the capital from the bank to purchase the assembly plant, the equipment he's going to need, office support, staff, equipment, telephones, everything else. August 1st is just months away, so he heads to the banks to get the capital that he has already negotiated with them to get. Paul, I'm sorry, but our finance committee's just notified us that we're not going to be able to finance your project. I'm really sorry, Mr. Dietz. I'm afraid we're probably going to have to renegotiate our interest rate a little higher. And if not that, we may have to cut the loan in half. If you want to discuss this, we'll have to make an appointment with our finance committee chairman. Were you willing to renegotiate it all, or are we going to just call it quits here? Paul, I'm afraid we're not going to be able to lend you the money. What the hell's going on here? John, we've known each other for 12 years. The other two banks have pulled their financing. I don't understand what's going on here. I just need to figure out why this is happening. Well, I'll tell you, Paul. You have a great design, you have an outstanding team, and you have an outstanding business plan. But the money we were going to lend you is going to Chrysler and GM to bail them out. It's that simple. That little drama I just played out is here to illustrate the Splinter, the idea that I need you to walk away with today. And that is that economics is the study of the use of scarce resources that have alternative uses. See, the consequences of bailing out the big bloated car companies and their unions forced the banks to make a rational decision about where they were going to put their scarce resources, and it made no other sense except to put those resources, in this case money, into a sure thing, which would be a government-backed loan to GM and Chrysler. And just what the hell does scarce resources that have alternative uses mean? Well, you must think of it like this. What everyone wants always adds up to more than what is available. And that is what's meant by scarce resources. Alternative uses means that that money that the banks had could either go to GM and Chrysler to bail their ass out, or it could go to this new innovative car company that probably had a better product. And it would probably come in cheaper as well. Another real-world example is when our corn crops are funneled into making ethanol for gasoline. Where exactly would that corn have gone if it hadn't been funneled by the government to make ethanol? I'll tell you where it would have gone. It would have gone into the thousands of other products that corn is used to make. And the result of this is higher prices for all of the other products that are created by corn. And in the case of Paul's car company that is never to be, the government made a conscious choice to force banks to divert scarce resources, in this case money, to bail out GM Chrysler simply because they had a relationship with the United Auto Workers. Now, what would have happened if the government hadn't interfered with the natural course of business that was taking place? Well, we're never going to find out. And that's the tragedy of governments interfering with free markets. You see, saving the big bloated car companies makes the government look like heroes to people who cannot think beyond the initial consequences of the government's actions. We'll never see that Paul's car designs were the iPhone of their time. And because we'll never see that headline, it never really happened, now did it? Very soon we're going to discuss too big to fail and the economic principle that demands that if we're going to have a healthy economy, it certainly must fail. Hey, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like my Facebook page, Pushing Back. Visit my political blog, politicalbrian.wordpress.com, or hurl 140 characters at me at Twitter at Brian McQuaig. That's at BrianMcQuaig.